I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Like I've never seen myself as a role model kind.
And develop a healthier version of self-talk.
Yes, for
because
sure.
because some people do actually speak to themselves
Badly.
but badly.
You know, growing up, I struggled with ADHD. I struggled at school. I was a very talented sportsman. I went to Wynberg Boys High School, obviously better than Bishop's. But
I'm gonna let it slide.
a little slide, okay, cool.
I'm gonna let it slide. Yes. Like, like, you guys don't know what it's like to be blacklisted. As I'm sitting in front of you guys right now, I'm balling. I'm not, the money's not there.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It's another episode of the Catch Up Podcast. I'm your host today, Blake the Champ, joined by
Jay Smooth, aka Jared Smith.
big shout out to Crocs for powering the show, and also a massive shout out to Road for all this hot equipment. We love it, baby. Today, we have a very special guest on the show. Not only is he a brother of ours, but also he is one of the country's greatest radio DJs to ever exist. He is also, in his own right, a public speaker. He's a great motivation. He runs massive events. He's a TV personality, and we're just so honored to have him here. Put your hands together for KYEEZI, baby.
What's up, man? Whoop, whoop. That's a crazy intro, bro.
But he's got to give you that intro because every
That's a
time we
crazy
come
intro.
to radio station, the intro you give him, he's got to
that's
give the
true.
love back, bro.
I was thinking about it this morning before I came here, and like I talked to myself a lot, and the conversation I was having today was like, I want to be mentioned amongst the greatest radio jocks. Like I just kept saying like, man, I want to be mentioned amongst like the DJ Freshes, the Glenn Lewises.
Yeah.
And for you to give me that same day, I appreciate it because it's something that I wish for, like I can get to in my career. So I really appreciate that, bro.
Bro, it's already cast in stone. I feel like you're just on
thank
your
you.
way there, you know?
I got it, man. I got it.
Speak it over your life. I think we said this before at the school tour. We're going to get to that. Is if you see a man for what he is, that is all that he will ever be.
Yeah.
But if you see a man for his potential, that is what he will become.
Damn.
And that's one thing that you always do. Whenever I see you, you're always complimenting me. You're always highlighting my strengths. And you're always telling me where you see me to be next.
Yeah.
You speak it over my life, bro. So I'm glad that you
Nah,
brought that up.
it's
Because that's where you're going.
Nah, it's beautiful, man. And it's real, bro. Like, I think you're one of my favorite people in Cape Town. Sorry,
Likewise,
Jay.
likewise,
I'm still
bro.
getting to know you, Jay. I'm still getting to know you. But you're one of my favorite people, man. I love people who love themselves. Like,
for sure.
I love people who invest in themselves. I love people who make a big rooms feel small.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I love people like that because it says that if you love yourself, you're teaching other people what it looks like.
For sure.
And I think we need more of that. We need more people who love themselves out there. So I'll always dab you out. Like, yo, man, Blake, what's going on? If things are not looking good, I'm like, yo, Blake, what's going on, man?
That's true.
You know what I
That's
mean?
true. Look out.
I got to keep you accountable because I know what you can be.
Yeah,
You know
for
what I
sure.
mean? So
I
yeah,
hear you.
man, that's what it is.
And that reminds me of the school tour. That was the
Yeah.
messaging of the school tour was
Yeah.
what does it mean to put your best foot forward?
Yeah.
And you joined us on the school tour. You came and you spoke. You shared your story. You inspired all the kids. How was that for you?
Beautiful, man. Beautiful, bro. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Like, I've never seen myself as a role model kind. Partly because of what a role model looked like when I was growing up.
Yeah, definitely.
You know,
Yeah.
cookie cutter. You know, a pair of chinos,
Yeah.
a pair of loafers, and a golf T-shirt. You know, like tell me I'm not describing. You know, and I'm this sneaker wearing, baggy T-shirt, baggy pants guy.
Polo jersey.
You know what I mean? But being in front of kids, being myself, and those kids looking and saying, "Oh man, that dude is so cool."
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, it's like, it's cool, but we still have to be principled.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We still have to be principled. We still have to be good human beings.
Yeah.
We have to be kind.
Love that, bro.
You know, we have to look after our community.
Yeah.
And you can be whatever you want to be in this world, but remember that you also owe the world your kindness and your heart.
Sure.
You know, and to be able to share that message being myself, that felt good.
100%, bro. I know you added so much value also. And like you said, when the two of us connect, when we get together, you don't know Jared that long, but every time it's a moment of motivation. And that's why we knew for the school tour, it will be perfect to have you there.
pleasure, bro.
Because your energy is always genuine, authentic. And like you say, you stay true to yourself. You weren't sure about what the idea of a role model was like because of the image that you had, but yet you would still show up. You wouldn't let that take away the opportunity from the kids for you to show up. And you're just the type of guy to show up all the time, bro. So we appreciate you for that.
I appreciate you.
And one thing he said, like you said before you came here today, you were having a conversation with yourself, and all three of us talk to ourselves a lot, a lot. And I mean, I want to go to the story of the prodigal son.
Yeah.
When he was in the pigsty and he was at his lowest moment, spent all his money. His father was wealthy, but he had spent all his money on women, parties, orgies, drinking, and he was literally picking up pig crap. The word says, and he said to himself, and the statement follows, why should I be here when I've got a home where my father has a job for me, there's love. But the word that I want to focus on, he said to himself, he had a conversation with himself. He was honest with himself about where he is and where he could be. And I think we lack that in society. We gotta learn to speak to ourselves more.
Oh, yeah.
And develop a healthier version of self-talk.
Yes, for sure.
Because some people do actually speak to themselves.
Badly.
But badly.
Yeah.
100%.
It's a routine for them. And the only way that you can ever see positivity in your day is to learn to convert that negativity into positivity. Because it's not going to stop coming. We must be hard on ourselves in the work that we do because we have to uphold a certain standard.
Definitely.
But it comes in negative. I messed up there. Flip, I need to fix this. And then you go, okay, what's my plan?
Yeah.
How do I make sure that I get it to the level I want it to be?
Absolutely.
So it will reflect me as a person.
Absolutely.
Bro, I want to ask you this.
Yeah.
I know that I've seen you along the way in your journey.
Yeah.
But for you, where did it all start?
Yo.
I read something about bread and
taking
butter
it back.
yesterday.
Okay, so bread and butter was probably like me really like saying, okay, I'm going after this. But if I can remember clearly, there was an entrepreneurial bone. How old was I? I must have been like 10 or 11. So I'll tell you guys a story. So we were living in the US. To everybody, this is how I sound the way I sound. Because I lived in the US. My father was doing his PhD. My mother was doing her master's. And they had a bursary over there. And I was in a primary school, and they asked us to do a raffle sale and to go around knocking on people's doors to sell tickets for this raffle. And I just sat and I was like, yo, man, these people are making me go to work and I'm not earning a thing. You know what I mean? I'm not making money. So then I would sell the raffle, but I'd tell the people, yo, it was a dollar, and I charge $1.50 for tax.
Yeah, come on.
So I'd say, yo, it's $1.50 tax. It says $1 there, but the tax is 50 cents. And these people paid me. So I was like, yo, I'm putting in work. I'm going to get paid.
Yeah.
Anyway, I got back to the school, and I got suspended. And my dad, he made me go pay all the people back their money. But I think my dad picked up like, this dude's a hustler. And I remember the one time I wanted a pair of jeans for my dad. And I was like, yo, I want these jeans. And my dad said he didn't have any money. But on the same day, he bought a fridge. A fridge. I was like, no, don't lie to me and say you don't have money. You just don't want to buy me the stuff. But immediately I took ownership and said, if I want things, I need to go work.
For sure.
So my first job I got was being a scorer for a basketball team. I was 11 years old.
Yeah.
You know? So for me, I always understood the concept of what you put in, you get out. So then bread and butter was actually, I think, the second thing I did, because initially I wanted to be an artist manager.
Okay.
So I used to work at the bank. Worked at the bank, and all I did was like listen to music, and I've always loved music. And I was like, man, I can pick up talent from a mile away. I started this management company called Black Pearl, and I mean, I lost all my like money from the bank, lost it all. It crashed. And then it hit me. I was like, wait, for me to understand the industry, I need to sort of speak about it, be around it, and also create a platform where artists can come engage with me directly and I can also learn. And for some odd reason, someone said to me, when I was at UWC, I tried tried to start a radio station at UWC when I was still a student there. And they said to me, bro, when you talk, people listen. Like there's something you do, but when you say something, like people really listen. And I didn't know I had a voice. I didn't know I had like a voice because I've always been a logical thinker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So my dad always used to say, your mouth is your police, so be careful about what you say. So I kept that. And then I said, yo, let me start a radio show called Bread and Butter because I'm trying to get my bread and butter. So every show I've done has a meaning.
For sure.
That's tied into my life somehow.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Because I feel like it has to be genuine. It has to be honest. For
Seasoned.
me, you know, for me to do it, it needs to make sense. So bread and butter. So the concept was we're playing music, but we're meeting people who are trying to get their bread and butter. And my gosh, did it take off. I started walking around, people were calling me the bread and butter guy. People didn't even know the name KYEEZI. But this show was just that show where it's like, yo, if you're in Cape Town, you need to meet up with this guy.
Was this at UWC?
UCT.
UCT.
UCT Radio. Shout out to Natalie and the guys for letting me in because I wasn't even a student at UCT.
So you first started at UWC, tried to get something going
Yeah.
there, and
Didn't
that was
work
where you
out,
did
yeah.
your warm up and stretch, basically. And then
I love that. Warm up and stretch, yeah.
And then at UCT is
got
when
on
you
the mic.
started bread and butter, and that is when it became
Yeah.
big.
In fact, at UWC, I got turned down by Good Hope when I entered the campus DJ competition for the first time. I didn't make it to the second round.
I also got
Okay.
turned down by Good Hope, eh?
It's-
They're
I'm
still
sorry.
turning me down, bro.
I'm sorry,
No, I'm
man.
joking. but one thing, you know, you started the bread and butter thing, but when I was just doing some research on you yesterday, I realized that in the beginning, your parents being high achievers
Yeah.
didn't understand the passion.
Yeah.
What was that tension like? Like you had this vision.
Yeah.
And they weren't understanding it and seeing it in the moment, but obviously
Yeah.
later did. But how was that for you to navigate that?
All right, so I did something that I wouldn't suggest for everybody, but for me, I had to do it, I felt. So I went to a very prestigious high school.
Yeah.
I went to Bishop's. I was in boarding school with all the boy cheese. I mean, this is top SA school type thing, right? My parents did a lot. And then I pursued being a professional basketball player. That didn't work out. And then I found myself at UWC. I had gotten academically excluded from CPUT, and I found myself at UWC. And then, like, this bug hit me, man, and it hit me hard. And I decided that instead of me trying to sell this to my parents, my dreams should not be my parents' burden. And I left home. I felt like my parents have done everything in their power. And when you're pursuing your dreams and your passions, bro, it takes like the smallest degree of disbelief to throw you off.
Yeah.
Like this small. Like if you looked at me the wrong way while I was trying to do something, I would feel like, oh, what am I doing with my life? And things got bad. But I was so caught up in the small steps that I'm winning that I could not be around anything that made me feel any sense of disbelief. So I literally, I made the call, not my parents. I was like, yo, I'm going to move out of home. My parents don't need to know where I'm at. They just need to know I'm alive. I'm going to pursue this thing. And I'm going to leave my home and I'm going to come back a different person. And then because my parents are both academics, they understood. And I'm the middle kid in my family. You know, like I'm crazy. Like our older brother, little sister, they both know like this guy's gonna do what he wants to do. Like, you know, and he's gonna figure it out. It'll take him some time, but he'll figure it out. And my parents knew that as well. The minute it clicked, I kid you not, bro, like for my parents, like they were like, oh, we get what this guy wants. Bro, all the blessings came. And they never made me feel like you're wrong for what you're doing. They understood like, oh, this is why you left. You left because you were pursuing something we didn't understand.
Yeah.
And you could have tried, but they're coming from an era of post-apartheid.
Yeah.
You know, I'll tell you for black people, there were only like 3 real jobs post-apartheid. Being a teacher,
Yeah.
number one. Policeman, you know what I mean? And in one shape or another, my parents were in those.
Yeah.
So for them to hear, I want to be a personality, and people are going to pay me to talk. People are going to pay me to play music.
Yeah.
And guess what? People are going to come to my events. And you know what? People are going to pay me to post videos. People are going to pay me to be myself. It's like, what?
And
So I
realistic.
can't, I can't blame them.
No, for sure.
Do you know what I mean? So I pursued it on my own, and when it clicked, they were like, "Oh, you are as good as them."
Yeah.
And my mom then relays and says, "You know, when you were in primary, you did a play, and someone once said to me, there's something about your kid. Just watch out for that." And she's like, "As a parent, we know all along. We're just scared for you because of what the world could do to you."
That's so powerful, bro. Honestly, it's just that is they're only doing the best they know how,
Yeah.
just because they're looking out for us. We spoke about this with Armin as well. Is they're only scared for us, and that's where it's coming from.
Yeah.
But we can't take on that fear.
Yeah.
We need to pursue what we need to pursue
Yeah.
until we can give them peace.
Absolutely.
And then they get that moment where they go, "Okay, no, they're good. He's good. He's
good.
fine. He's sorted. He got a place.
He's
got a
in
job.
one piece.
He's building. Yeah, no,
He's in one
we love
piece.
it. Yeah."
Jordan Peterson actually says, and my wife sent this to me because obviously I've got control issues. I've got 2 small girls. So when they're playing on the jungle gym, I get a little bit anxious and like rigid. my wife calls me Rigid Ralph. But Jordan Peterson says you got to let kids play dangerously, safely. What the hell is he saying?
That is wild.
What is this saying? So I started meditating on this. But you almost got to give them the space to be a little bit dangerous, but safely.
Yeah.
And I'm working on that. It's not easy.
I can imagine, bro.
Does it come down to experiencing your own consequences?
Yeah.
Because I think that is where you can separate a child from being spoiled. Like your father could have bought you that jeans.
Yeah.
He could have bought you the pants, you
Yeah.
know, to keep you
He could've.
quiet.
He
He could have just, every time you wanted something, he could have just, it's not that he really didn't have the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that he didn't want to spend his money on that. He wanted you to learn.
Yeah.
If you want your own stuff, buy it.
Yeah.
But this fridge is also buying for you.
Yeah.
Because you're going to use this fridge as well.
Exactly,
It's for the family.
Exactly.
So what I'm saying is, if you take consequences away from people, you're actually hindering their growth.
Absolutely.
That's the truth.
But that's
And
what
that-
happened to me.
That's a, yeah.
My dad, you know, growing up, I struggled with ADHD. I struggled at school. I was a very talented sportsman. I went to Wynberg Boys High School,
Yeah.
obviously better than Bishops. But
I'm gonna let it slide.
okay, cool.
I'm gonna let it slide.
But I struggled with the self-esteem. I struggled with a lot of things, and my dad felt sorry for me.
Yeah.
And his way, his version, his truth. No, again, not blaming him. Was he thought that he had to buy me all the latest rugby boots, jeans to help me with my self-esteem. So whenever I was in trouble at school, my dad would save and protect me. And not allow me to experience the consequences. Therefore, my behavior never changed. That's one of the reasons, not all the reasons. One of the reasons I was living on the streets, homeless, injected into my arms, dying, because I didn't understand the concept of consequences.
Yeah.
And the ownership of you having to fix your own problems.
Yeah.
Bro.
You know, because you were probably sitting there thinking, so when is things gonna come right? You know,
Yeah.
when is it gonna happen for me? Because you're so used to that pattern. And by you leaving, because for me
That's a big move,
personally,
eh? Wow.
I think that is when a man really realizes himself for the first time, is when he leaves his parents' house.
Yeah.
That's when things change for me. My father actually, and he will tell you the story himself also, he was a school principal for 22 years. And I always used to defy his rules. But it was these rules of his house. I only understand it now.
Yeah.
Come home at 12, Blake.
Yeah.
Blake
Yeah.
comes home at 1 o'clock in Taz.
Yeah, because he had his system. He had his structure. He wanted to rest a certain time. He was up first. All of those things, you know. I didn't understand those things yet because I hadn't lived it myself.
Oh, yeah.
And one day he knocked on the room door and he said to me, when I come home from work, you must be gone. And in that moment you think, how can you kick me out of the house? You're my father, I'm your child. This is my home. All these things are going through your mind. Then you leave the house and now you must pay for your own toilet paper.
Yeah.
You must get your own food.
Yeah.
2-minute noodles for the
Yeah.
first 2 months,
Yeah.
buddy. And after a while, you're like, wow, this
Yeah.
guy did the world for me.
Yeah.
And through that process, now I can actually look back and say he was a great human being for what he did and how
Yeah,
you know,
bro.
that was the lesson. Knocked on the door, cheers, buddy. And I actually learned for the first time.
Absolutely, man. Like, I moved out of home, I was like 20, 22, 23.
Same.
And I figured out, and I actually said, if I'm going to make financial mistakes, I'm going to make them now.
Yeah.
And did I make them? Yes. like, you guys don't know what it's like to be blacklisted. I'm talking about you can't even get a gym contract
Sure.
because you're so far in debt. And it's like, oh my gosh, what have I done? And now I have to fight back. Now I have to, and remember, I left home pursuing a dream.
Yeah.
My pride won't let me call my dad and be like, hey man, I'm in trouble. Because that man's gonna say, I told you.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
I told you. And I'm like, nah, man, I'm gonna man up and I'm gonna figure this out. And what ends up happening, I mean, I think I got emotional the one day. I got home, my dad was there. So to give you perspective, my dad, we left South Africa, we lived in America. This guy had 3 jobs while he was pursuing his PhD.
Sure.
Right? He has a family of 3 kids. My mom was there as well. So when we lived there, my dad was working. So when it comes to work ethic, I've seen what it looks like when a man is not at home. You know what I mean? So now I get home and I'm telling my dad, oh no, I got this project on the way, but then I'm going to be here and do this and this. And my dad stops, he's like, yo, dude, you're a hard worker, hey? And I looked at him and I was like, oh snap. Like this is the holy grail of hard work telling me, yo, you're a hard worker, man. Like you work hard, bro. And I think that moment I was like, okay. So,
Full circle.
yeah, so those things you don't understand about your parents,
Yeah.
the older you get, I start to understand why my dad didn't have so much of a social lifestyle.
Yeah.
My dad used to always say, friends are not here to stay. Just know that, you know. And I was like, what do you mean? These are my people. We're gonna be besties forever, bro. I don't know how many sets of different friends I've had over the years.
Let's be honest.
It's just a reality.
You know, and it's like it's crazy. The older I get, and you know, I'm hoping when I eventually become a parent, I'm super scared of that because it's like, oh man, what am I gonna do?
I think we can both agree. I was also super scared before because I wasn't sure what I can offer.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure who I'll be to my child. I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if I was capable. You have all these question marks above your head.
Yeah.
But you know what? It actually comes down to the person that never stops trying.
Sure.
Because if I think of our parents, think of your parents, think of my own parents, they never stopped trying.
Yeah.
And that's what made them a good parent.
Yeah.
There's no perfection.
Yeah.
There's no book to it. So you're the type of person that has the ethic to never stop trying.
Yeah.
Bro, that's more than enough.
Blake, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you.
Okay.
If and when I have a child, if they are like me, I'm in so much trouble.
There's definitely going to be one like you. I've got
I'm
2 girls and one's like me.
Bro, because I know I'm a lot. Like, guys, I'm a lot. I know I'm a lot. Like, to the people who work with me, like, if ever you chat to Tamara, Jason, any of my colleagues, I am a lot. It's not a lot of bad stuff, but I'm a lot. Like, be prepared.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I'm afraid of dealing with me.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense.
You
But
know
you're on
what,
that journey already. It's okay.
bro, you know what they say about your kids? Is
3 times.
You get all the karma back through your kids.
3 times over.
If you were a guy that was with a lot of women back in the day, you get the most
Hey, Bru,
beautiful
what
daughter.
are you doing here, bro? What are you doing to us here, bro?
Yeah, that's true, man. That's true. That's true.
Oh,
That's true.
no.
That's true.
No, but it's and I think, you know what? The society we're living in today, and I think this is what makes being a parent so scary,
Yeah.
is there's so many unhealthy options out there for humans. That's what freaks me out.
Yeah.
I've been to the dark side. I know what's available.
Yeah.
And with time, I can't see it improving.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Yeah.
I think once we accept certain hard truths, it makes it easier to process.
Yeah.
But life's not getting easier.
Yeah.
Life's not getting lighter. We are growing as humans, and we bring in light. But having kids is not an easy thing because we understand how many unhealthy options there are out there for people and how many people are stuck in addictions of many forms.
That's crazy.
That's stuffing them up big time.
Even if we take it just to the simple fact that having kids costs a lot of money. It comes down to it at the end of the day, bro. And I keep thinking about it since you mentioned it. I want to know from you because I feel like a lot of people struggle with finances.
Yeah.
It's really not just making money that they struggle with.
Yeah, it's
what they do, managing their money, financial literacy. And to be in a position where you were blacklisted or just in debt, in general, a lot of people are in debt. How did you recover from that? And I don't mean technically what was your step-by-step guide, but just from a mental perspective, in your mind, how did you get yourself out of that gutter?
Because I think one thing I understood, and I'm going to be honest with everybody, being broke is a state of mind. I was rich in knowledge. I was rich in ability. I was rich in capacity. So I may not have the money, but trust me, I'm as good as that guy who has the money.
Yeah.
So I can, if I had 7 rand in my pocket, when you engage me, you could never tell.
Yeah.
Because of how rich I am in my ability.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So on that, if I can't manage 7 rand, how am I going to manage 1 million rand?
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Fair play.
So for me, it's like I gotta learn to work with what I have at my disposal, which is 2 feet, 2 legs, God blessed, 2 hands, 2 eyes, 2 ears, a mouth, and I'm gonna make something from nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I promise myself that I'm gonna do it, and the world will eventually catch up. And my story is simple, guys. The first MC gig where I got paid, I got 100 rand. 100 rand.
Sure.
I can tell you what I spent it on. I spent it on 40 rand for a cab back to Observatory. Then I bought my girlfriend at that time KFC because she hadn't ate. I hadn't ate the whole day, and she had KFC. And seeing her get full filled me up.
Sure.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was my first gig. Not my first gig, my first paying gig. 1 clipper. From that 100 rand, I got change for me to be able to go to a space with Wi-Fi to get more bookings. So, in my opinion, you never are in a position where you don't have anything.
Yeah.
You have your mind.
Go.
Wow.
Let's go.
You have your mind.
Yeah.
The minute you allow yourself to be broke in your mind,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll give you, and I'm going to tell you guys some hectic truths.
Yeah.
I do productions now, like where I'm booking DJs, all of this stuff. People have a good time, right? There are situations where the day of that event, I don't have money. I don't have means. The day after that, I don't have money. I kid you not, Blake. This past weekend, we had a show. The show probably cost us just under 100, maybe 180,000 rand to pull off.
Yeah.
Buddy, the Thursday, in my account, I had 300 rand. The Friday, my payment started coming. Poop. As the money lands in my account, I am paying someone.
Yeah.
As I'm sitting in front of you guys right now, I'm balling. I'm not, the money's not there. You know?
I love it, bro. Thank
But that's
you.
it. But that's truth. I love it, dude.
But Kay's gonna get in his car.
Yeah.
He's gonna go work. I'm gonna drive my car at economy. I'm gonna let it cruise control. I'm gonna get to work. I'm gonna afford a cup of coffee because I know
Shout out Seattle.
I'm gonna think great. I'm gonna kill radio.
on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get home. There's probably some food in the fridge. I'm gonna eat. By Friday, I'm not gonna be broke.
Yeah.
The account's gonna change. People forget that money's just numbers in your account.
That's it, bro. And I think what's also interesting and something that I realized a few years ago is this. I hear a lot of people saying they're praying and asking God to bless them with more finances. I say to them, this. Are you using the finances you've given properly?
Yeah.
Because if you use the finances you've given properly, you won't have to pray for more.
Telling you, bro.
That's true. Something that you keep mentioning all the time, and it's a quote that sort of made up. I take it with us when we go to the schools is, when I was young, I always used to look for shortcuts in life.
Yeah.
And then I realized that there are no shortcuts. The shortcut is learning to take the long road very well.
Yeah.
Because you eventually learn to take the long road quicker than other people.
Yeah.
That becomes your shortcut. So when it comes to success, who are you if you can't have everything pulled from underneath you and start again and rebuild it again?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because
Alright.
you practically built your career from scratch. Getting
Thank you,
paid
bro.
100 rand for your first gig. What is 100 rand? Especially in today's world. Even though that was a time ago,
Yeah.
it's still 100 rand. But the fact that you could go, I'm willing to take a small amount and I'm willing to build from there is a mindset thing.
Yeah.
Is at any given time, you keep yourself the learner.
Yeah.
You keep growing all the time.
Yeah.
You never see destination as a success as a destination. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a journey.
It's a journey, bro. And just to add to that, and my management team hates me for this side of me. They really do. That 100 rand gig in that room converted into probably 15,000 rand or 20,000
That's
rand
it.
in work.
Eventually, yeah.
But we don't see it like that. And that's why I say to Blake, I always say to him that sometimes the greatest blessings are collaborations that
Yeah.
cost that bring no money in the moment.
Yeah.
But what it's going to bring in the future
Absolutely.
is thousands and thousands of rand. But we don't see it like that.
Absolutely.
We chase paper.
But I'm gonna keep it real though. I think poverty scares people. Honestly, it traumatizes you,
Yeah.
bro. Realistically,
Yeah, for
you know
sure.
what happened when I started getting paid? I started buying anything, everything that I wanted. I started buying it. So my money comes in, then I buy whatever I want.
Yeah.
Because I was so used to not having money.
Yeah.
Always window shopping, always thinking about things that I
Yeah.
wish I could get.
Yeah.
My car that I had, I was lucky to have the car. For years, it was in the same condition.
Yeah.
I only got to a level of success maybe 5 years after having a car
Yeah.
where I could put new hubcaps on the car, where I
Nice.
could put a lip on the car for the
Nice.
first time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just feel like poverty does scare people. It does traumatize you.
I think it definitely does traumatize you, right? But within that poverty, bro, I go back to the statement. If you don't know how to manage 5 rand, you won't know how to manage 1,000,000 rand.
Fair.
And what is poverty? Is poverty the state that you're in, or is it poverty in your mind? Do you get what-
Mind,
hear you.
definitely.
do you get what I'm
Mind.
saying?
Yeah.
Mind.
So what happens? And this is going to a lot of my brothers out there. We've got this horrible thing that we do. I don't get it. We make it out of the hood. You get your entry level job. You get your first car. You get your first apartment, 1 bedroom. Let's give or take 8,000 rand.
Yeah.
Get that first car. That first car's 4.5 a month. Insurance 1.5. Yeah. You've got this job. You've got this car. The first thing you go and do is take that car and go hang out in the hood with people who do not have as much as you.
Yeah.
And for
Bars,
me,
bro.
no, but for me, what that says, right? And my closest friends will tell you this. The place that I live at right now, I didn't even decide to live there. The minute we drove in, I said I want to live here. There was a Ferrari parked there. There was a Maserati, the new BMW. I said I want to live in this neighborhood, and I was asked why, and I said because here I'm not the top dog. Here
Yo.
I'm not the it guy. Here I don't have
Keeps
the
you
nicest
humble.
car.
Yeah.
So for me, why are we so comfortable with growing, then going back, not to teach, but to showcase that I've grown to people who are not in the position to meet you at the same level? I agree if it's we make it out the hood, we make money, then we go back and we say, yo, doggy, do you want to live this life that I'm living? This is what I did. Go study hard. Go do this. Go do this. But don't pull up on a Saturday afternoon with your windows down, blasting your music,
Popping bottles.
popping a bottle,
Yeah.
and tell me that, no, I'm coming back because no. What you're coming to do is you're coming to look down on people who don't have the means. You're coming to alienate young women who do not have the means, and you are going to be a man who's going to control this woman because you have the authority, because you have the money.
Yeah.
That's a big problem that I have. You know, I have a huge problem. I come from a very privileged background. I have no right to go to the hood and look down on people who haven't been as privileged as me.
Yeah, for sure.
What I'm supposed to be doing, and what I'm obligated to do, is to say, yo, bro, you keep looking at me. You want to learn how I did this? Okay, cool. Check this out. This is how we work.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you in a month's time. Tell me how. Each one teach one. So for me, a poverty mindset is perpetuated by us as well. Because we make it seem like we can't reach.
Yeah.
We can't reach it. I always told peeps that I don't mind being broke when I was living in Observatory. Guys, I don't mind being broke. I don't mind being broke where I live right now. But I'd hate being broke, being around other broke people.
Sure.
I can't stand that, bro. Like we're all broke?
Yeah.
Like we're all broke?
And you can't ask anyone for advice.
We're all sitting
Maybe
here.
we all broke here now, right now.
You get me? Yeah, but
Sure.
but because then what comes out of that?
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? So I've always said I will never invest in the guy who can sell me a dream. I'll invest in the guy who's selling me airtime at the robots more than a person who is telling me what they want to do, because I see that guy doing it.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? So it's something that I'm very passionate about. Like, yo, man, keep moving.
Yeah.
Keep moving. Broke is a state of mind. That could change like this.
And you definitely proved it with the brand that you've developed and what you've accomplished. Like, you're not just a radio DJ, bro. You're much bigger than that. Your
Yeah, for
presence
sure.
alone.
Thank you, bro.
You even at one point started Destiny. You were part of the
Yeah.
process there.
Yeah.
I want to ask you about that because it's also something that you pulled out of. And I've had many projects and businesses that
Yeah.
I've started passionately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then at some point either been working with the wrong people
Yeah.
or this is just not going
Seasons.
anywhere.
Seasons.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you have to sometimes know when to also leave something
And walk
behind
away,
and
yeah.
walk away.
Yeah.
So what was that journey like?
All right, cool. So within the nightlife space, I need to give you guys a bit of a track record, right? I worked at different clubs. I worked at Shares and Timber. I worked at Coco. I worked at Yip Yip. I worked at Sook. I worked at Gold Bar. So I worked as an MC, and out of an MC, I also learned how to DJ and started DJing at nightclubs. Then I went from being an MC and a DJ to an entertainment manager and opening a business, actually running the entertainment for a business, Yip Yip Lifestyle here. So I was there when this shop opened, and I was the guy responsible for like, yo, who's coming and who are booking and stuff like that. So the organic progression out of everything that I've mentioned was I've been a promoter, I've been an MC, I've been a DJ, I've been an entertainment manager. The organic process was I need to own a business, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Opportunity comes, yo, let's open a business. I say, okay, cool. But what is Cape Town missing? Cape Town is missing dance culture. There's no place you can go to where there's space that's allocated for people to dance. Everything's turned into a VIP. If you're not popping a bottle, no one cares. So I was like, yo, along with the other owners, yo, this space is big. Let's make it a dance space, but also we'll cater for the people who want to buy the bottles, but everybody here should feel important.
Yeah.
Cool. So we opened the business. Things start off. RIP, aka he did the opening night, and here's the reality of it for me, right? Obviously, when you're building a business, we have an initial vision,
Yeah.
right? Then money comes along, and the vision starts to sway, right? And not to discredit anyone, it just was no longer aligned with my vision.
Okay.
Right? And I have to protect that vision.
For sure.
Because that vision is accompanied by my brand.
Yeah.
So regardless of how much money we're making, there's damage that potentially could happen to a brand. So I said, okay, cool. We had a few disagreements, and they were like, yo, we think it's best if you step back. I said, that's cool. Let me step back and let me realign the things that are important to me.
Yeah.
In business, from what I've learned, you lose money, you make money. However, is your vision still aligned?
Yeah.
Because money can come and go.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? So that was the biggest lesson for me. That okay, cool. Look, man, like when you're playing in this space, you need to understand that your vision needs to you need to stand by it.
Yeah.
And don't go where the money's telling you to go. Do you get what I mean?
There's no longevity in that.
So then that's how I went, okay, cool. I'm not going to do this right now. I'm not writing it off for the future. But I know where my vision is aligned with my event properties. So let me prove to myself that my event properties, that I'm not crazy. Let us reinvest all of that energy into this and design this the way we see the market flowing.
Yeah.
And it's been working ever since.
It's
Amazing.
amazing, bro. And I think that's so important. Again, it's coming down to that hunger, desperation thing. But also, what it's saying is that what do we put on top of our list?
Yeah.
Our brand and our value in ourselves, or money? And I think culture's got it wrong. That's
Yeah.
why I said we don't chase paper. I think if you get to know yourself,
Yeah.
and you build value and you work on your craft and your skills and your abilities and you showcase that to the world,
Yeah.
the money comes.
Yeah.
The money comes. But a lot of humans are doing it in reverse. That's why they're getting stuck.
And just to add to that, right? Like when peeps come talk to me, I think peeps think we don't listen. I listen. I'm always ears down. And someone said to me, yo, man, you can just feel it when it's a KYEEZI vibe. I said, oh, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Let me investigate that. Oh, wait a minute. This no longer feels like a KYEEZI vibe. This is dangerous for me. Where am I going? How am I going to make sure that that person who's looking for that thing gets exactly that? And in business, and it's a hard lesson,
Yeah.
sometimes you need to detach yourself.
It's hard though,
It's hard. And get perspective
Yeah.
for sure.
and go back to the drawing board. I don't know how many times I go back to the drawing board. I've lost count.
Yeah,
But
same.
I think it's going to happen till the day we die. If we keep going back, bro. Keep going back.
It will never end. I
Like, you know-
realized you don't even get to a certain level of success
Accept that
where
now.
you're immune from it.
Yeah, accept it now, and
I
it'll
don't know how
be
many
easier.
times. I don't know how many times I've gone back to the drawing board. And I think what I've always been safe in is that I've gone back to the drawing board and it's never played out publicly. So you won't know that this guy's going back to the drawing board. But when you do moves like that that have a lot of PR,
Yeah.
you know, people's like, why did you leave? And I'm like, even if I explain it, you won't get it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
You won't get it.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
It's-
No bad vibes.
Yeah, there's no bad vibes.
Yeah.
You know,
Just was what it was.
It was what it was, man.
Yeah.
KYEEZI, you know, I'm like, yo, man, keep going to the place.
Keep going, yeah.
Go have a good time, but it's just not in line with what I'm trying to do.
But you said something very important now before you asked the question, is that I think what we lack as humans,
Yeah.
as a skill,
Yeah.
is the ability to listen.
Nah.
There's a difference between listening and hearing. I think a lot of people hear,
Yeah.
but they don't take the time to listen. That's why
Yeah.
they don't learn. That's why they don't grow, and that's why they don't become successful.
Yeah.
We got to learn to listen more.
Yeah.
Fact.
Because we learn more like that.
Yeah.
For sure.
I just wanted to compliment you on your business intelligence because
for sure.
Richard Branson, I'm sure you guys will know this, but he focuses on the power of brand.
Yeah.
He's how is Gucci so expensive and you get the same quality clothes maybe by Zara, for example.
Yeah.
But you're taking charge that price is if you look at the brand and what he did was he never ever focused on one thing.
Yeah.
He's got Gems, he got Virgin Airlines, he got Virgin Mobile, everything.
Yeah.
But it's the power of the brand Virgin that he created and looked after.
Yeah.
Is when you're chasing money, there's no longevity in there. There's no long game. The quicker you get money, the faster you'll lose it. That's the truth. That's why dirty money don't last long.
Yeah.
But when it comes to you saying, you know what, I will lose out now on
sure.
this opportunity.
That's it.
But I'm planting a seed for the future that's gonna pay off for
Big
me
time,
and
bro.
keep paying off for me.
Big time.
That's when you hit the gold, bro.
And I'm in control.
Yeah.
I'm the one who's saying, once again, yo, I don't dig this. I dig that.
Yeah.
And if you dig that, cool. But I dig this. And I'm gonna take care of people who also dig this.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? And guys, I'm not gonna lie to you. In a year, like it was a very tough year last year. It was very tough because, like I said, it played out in front of everyone, and I had to maintain my strength and I had to maintain my composure to everything. Like I kid you not, when was it now? Must have been like 2 weeks ago. Somebody's like, I finished DJing. They're like, yo, Kane, are you going to rock Destiny now? I'm like, I'm not, but you should. But they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, no, I'm not. As in, I'm not booked or anything. I'm not there, but you should go. If you want to go, go. You know what I mean? And it's just like, okay, cool. Lesson learned. Take care of your brand.
Yeah.
Align. And when things change, also stand by your brand. Don't chase the money.
I really love where this conversation went on the topic of this destiny because it's the perfect example of sometimes you grow past something, way past something,
Yeah.
but people keep bringing it up all the time. Like you so far into your career now, so far past that, but you still have to have this conversation and compose yourself. And
Yeah,
even though
and I laugh,
you
bro.
don't list sometimes, you're like,
I
again,
just
this
laugh.
question. You must just quickly brush it off and keep moving on and not let it phase you.
Now I laugh though, because some of the stuff that I get told, I'm like, I told you guys this is gonna happen, but hey man, what do I know? I'm gonna stay in my lane and keep quiet, you know, because I think God has the ability to let you know when something's not for you.
Sure.
For sure. But sometimes we ignore that, eh?
Yeah.
Sometimes we get that sense, that thing in our gut, but we override it because we want something that maybe is not for us.
Yeah.
And we go ahead through pride or arrogance or ignorance.
Yeah.
And we take hold of the thing we want that God actually didn't want for us, and we mess ourselves up. And then we say,
Nah,
God,
man.
why am I here?
Yo, bro, like, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like, my anointing is powerful, dog. And like, I know, bro, you know, and I'm blessed to have this ability to be like, no, that's not for me. And I'm out.
The power of no.
Yo,
How do people, or how do you navigate the difference between feelings and reality? Because we know feelings can lie.
absolutely. I think the first thing I'm gonna tell you guys is I go to therapy.
So do
All
I.
right. I go to therapy because I had that question. I had that. There's so many moving pieces in what I do that at some point I couldn't understand why I was feeling like I can't do this. And why I was feeling like the world is against me.
Yeah.
And why I was feeling like, oh no, man, like these guys hate me. And the separation is, it's exactly what you said. It's taking that moment to be like, I'm upset. Why am I upset? I didn't like that. Why didn't I like that? Okay, cool. I didn't like it because of so and so and so and so. What am I going to do about that?
Yeah.
Is it in my control?
Yeah.
It's not
Come
in my
on.
control. Did you get
So it's so simple, practical, but so powerful, bro.
Is it in my control?
Yeah.
No, it's not in my control.
Cool.
All I can do is hope for the best.
Yeah.
Let it go.
Come on.
Let it go. Okay, it is in my control. How am I going to address it? I can't address it right now because I'm quite frustrated. I'm going to give myself an hour.
Yo.
I'm giving myself an hour. I'm going to go have a cup of coffee. I'm going to chill. If I run into this individual or this again, I'm going to tell them, hey, we're going to have a conversation. But right now, I'm emotional. Right now, I'm upset. Right now, I don't know what I am capable of doing.
Bars, bro, bars.
Do you get what I'm saying? Because I'm a man.
Yeah.
So some things hit you with that, you're disrespecting me.
Yeah.
And now it's no longer about the issue. Now it's a me thing.
Yeah.
So I go through that process. Is this a me thing? Are they disrespecting me? And you know, as black guys, you go, this guy young hell. Hey man, okay, what's going on? No, they're not. Oh snap, they're not even aware. But I've built this, you know, how many how many times have you had that where you're like, yo, this guy's not taking me seriously? No, they're not even aware. They're not even
taking themselves seriously.
They haven't even thought about it. Meanwhile, you've been racking yourself and working yourself to the bone. You know, and then another thing that I do is I pray.
Yeah.
I pray on things that I don't understand. I pray for understanding. I pray for clarity. And also I pray for peace.
Yo.
You know what I mean? Because I think when you're ambitious and you're hungry to build and to be successful, you are also putting yourself in the line of challenges.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you need to be equipped for those challenges. You need to be equipped for the energy that you're going to be receiving, because as you go forward, something is attempting to pull you back. That's what people don't tell us.
Yeah.
Always. There's
Something is trying to pull you back. You know what I mean?
100%.
In one shape or another. No offense. It could be coming in a situation that you don't want to see yourself in. Now you're finding yourself near P. Diddy characters, and you're like, yo, man, I'm not trying to be around this right now.
Yeah.
I need to go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I mean, something that I think that we as humans get wrong is that we associate peace with a feeling.
Yeah.
But I don't think peace is a feeling. I think it eventually comes in contentment.
Yeah.
But I think we basing peace on a feeling. But I think it's a mindset.
Yeah.
And it's about being grateful for stuff.
Absolutely.
Because I often find myself saying, "Hey, I'm not feeling peaceful."
Yeah.
But I don't think peace is it's a state of mind. It's a perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys agree with that. I mean, we're
Definitely.
open to disagreement.
I think peace needs to be looked after.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't look after their peace, bro. I'm willing to sacrifice a lot so I can look after my peace.
Yeah.
But a lot of people aren't willing to do that, and that's why they don't have peace.
I'm still working on it, because like I said, when you're hungry, you constantly see place for improvement.
For sure.
When you are and there's a difference between being hungry and suffering from hunger.
Yeah.
And I mean, we've spoken about this, I think, when we did our campaign, is that when you suffer from hunger, you're almost at a place of desperation where it's like, I'm going to accept anything. But when you're hungry, you know, like this is exactly what I want, right? And the flip side of being hungry is that you're so focused on what you want, you're not taking a moment to appreciate what you have.
Sure.
Like I had, I think probably a week ago, you know, and I was driving home from work, and I put my windows down, and I got this sunroof, and I opened the sunroof. It was a beautiful sunny day, and I sat in my car, and I was like, yo, I've got a car. Like, and I'm not gonna lie, I've got a nice car. You know what I mean? And I'm like, oh, this feels good. And I put some shades on, and I'm driving, and I'm like, man, I remember days when I couldn't get a car,
Yeah.
you know? And I'll be driving through town and I'll be like, man, I used to walk up this street. And it's moments like those for me that are so important to me because
So
it's
good,
like,
bro.
I know I'm not necessarily where I want to be,
Yeah.
but damn, I'm in a better place than where I was.
Yeah.
And I'm walking and I'm driving to that place that I want to get to, but things aren't bad.
Yeah.
And that's my moment of gratitude where I look
sure.
up and I'm like, God, yo, you have my back.
Yeah.
Come on.
Thank you. You know what I mean? And I drive into the place where I live and I'm like, man, I live in a nice neighborhood.
Yeah.
Oh man, I got nice neighbors too. Hey, how you guys doing?
Yeah.
You know what I
Gratitude,
mean?
bro.
And like one of my friends, I was telling them, they're like, yo, because I am looking for a bigger place. I'm like, yeah. But I'm like, damn, man, when I wake up, I hear palm trees blowing. And they're like, what? I'm like, I hear palm trees, bro. Like, I hear the place I lived at before, all I heard was taxis, dog. Like, I'm living
Gunshots.
good. I'm like, and my friends were like, I'm like, bro, I'm so happy that I just hear palm trees. And I go back to the place where, when I was trying to build KYEEZI,
Yeah.
I was living days off of 7 rand. You know, like, I don't have enough money for a taxi. I don't have enough money for a meal. I was happy to have like 2 eggs and half a loaf of bread. And I was like, oh, this is an awesome day. But in that day, I'd shake one person's hand who I felt like, yo, this person can help me get to the next
Yeah.
place. And that was the most important and amazing thing.
That was the power, bro.
Meanwhile, in retrospect, when I look back now and it's trauma that I'm dealing with, I was starving. But I was so happy and grateful for those small
Connections.
those small moments, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, I got $7. At least I don't have none.
Yeah.
Come on.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
The next day I have 50 rand. I'm like, at least I got 50. I'm getting a Streetwise 2 today. I'm happy.
Yeah.
You're taking us to church here, bro. We're going to church.
I'm happy. I am the happiest I can be right
Yeah.
now. And and the thing is, like I said, now you get hungry. And I had this conversation on my show where do you differentiate growth and greed?
Sure. There's that discernment you need there in between, bro.
Do you get me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I'm good. You know, I can take care of my place. If I want to go buy myself a pair of kicks, I can go buy myself a pair of kicks. I'm not that demanding, you know? So why am I greedy for all of that other stuff that I don't have right now? No.
Yeah.
This is the stage in life where you're at.
Yeah.
If you want those things, you'll get those things, but you're going to go through the same process you had to go through
Yeah.
to get the things that you got now.
Something that I keep reminding myself, and I'm so glad that you said that, is we are hard on ourselves
Yeah.
because we want growth.
Yeah,
because
for
we're
sure.
so hungry for growth.
Yeah.
We're growth machines. We're looking forward in everything that we do.
Yeah.
In our careers, we're pushing forward. We set goals. We are hard on ourselves because we are our own coach.
Yeah.
We have to be our coach. It's
Yeah.
the only person who can
Yeah.
do it for you the best is
You
yourself.
are your own performance appraisal.
Love it. Exactly. I keep reminding myself this. The person that I am today
Yeah.
was who I dreamed of being
Exactly.
years ago.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
because it was such a long time ago and he's not sitting next to me to remind me,
Yeah.
I need to remind myself
Yeah.
that this is what you wished for. At some point, you didn't even know if you could get it right.
Yeah.
You didn't even know if it could come true.
Yeah.
But now you actually here and we're looking forward. So we're hard on ourselves because we don't yet have that.
Yeah.
But I just remind myself, if I could make this happen,
Yeah.
imagine what I can do.
Exactly, bro.
Sha, bro, that's it.
I think it's you understanding, the amount of work I need to do now to get to there because I already know.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I have to work hard.
But I think some people are so focused on where they should be or could be versus where they've come from.
Yeah.
Like you said.
Yeah.
And I also think something that you said that's so powerful, both of you, it's a principle that I just took now, is there's a difference between hunger and desperation.
Yeah.
Bro, there's so many people that are too desperate
Yeah.
and desperation can get you into trouble.
Yeah.
You got to be hungry
Yeah.
and focused, but
Yeah.
desperate.
Yeah.
You put yourself in some tricky situations that can cost you
Yeah.
what you're working towards. 100%.
Absolutely.
The other thing I took from what you said is gratitude.
Yeah,
big
time,
I
bro.
think that changed my life, bro.
Small
Honestly, I think that at some point I had to stop, get off the hamster wheel, and just be grateful for the things that I do have.
Yeah.
And I have this morning thing, we call it the morning routine. When I walk downstairs, I'll always make my fiance a cup of coffee and make myself a cup of tea. And on my way down, I just say thank you for all the things that I passed through that I
Beautiful.
never had before.
Beautiful.
When I open my cupboard, all the sneakers and the clothes and the jewelry and the...
Yeah.
Bro, I remember back in the day, I only had one chain, and that chain was my
Shout out
everything.
to Blake going from a 1-bedroom apartment to a double-story house.
And
But
that,
I mean, it seems like maybe a small thing, but it's a big thing.
No, it's
It's a
big, bro.
big
because you
thing,
did it,
bro.
bro.
Hard
you
work,
actually
bro.
did it.
we've been fighting, bro. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm even scared. Like, there's this story about this entrepreneur from Namibia, who, you know, I think he used to own like Nissan and stuff like that, but he was a big businessman, and he told his family the day he retires could potentially be the year that he's gonna pass away.
Sure.
And he worked his whole life, like worked and obviously grown, great family, big family. And truth to his word, when he stopped working, he passed away that year. And that scares me because I know I'm a workaholic.
Yeah.
Like, I know I am a workaholic because I identify service as me adding value to the world, as me seeing my visions out. So now, my greatest challenge is finding the balance.
You've dropped so many powerful bombs
cool, man.
today. You genuinely you inspired me today. Listening
for
to
sure.
your
For sure,
story and
bro,
so on.
sure.
Can you leave us with and leave the people with, more importantly, you know, is 3 practical tools, 3 traits that you have that you hang on to that keeps you successful?
Understand and really like take this in. No one will ever put into you more than what you put into yourself. So I'm big on that. Like that I'm massive about. You know, it's so crazy now. I've got a team of like 6 people who work with me, right?
Yeah.
The events team and my management team. And the entry level question, if we're gonna work together, is what can you do that I can't do myself?
Sure.
What can you do that I can't do myself? Okay, cool. You can do that. How are you going to grow as an individual? By working with me. Because I know how I can. But is that what you want? So I always believe in if I got 24 hours in a day
Yeah.
and I'm putting 12, 18 hours in, right? That 18, 12-hour investment's going to come back some way, somehow. My skill's going to be improved. My knowledge is going to be improved. Everything. So I'm always going to be willing to put in. Another thing is treat everybody with respect. Everybody. Let me tell you, bro, like the people who saved me were people who own spaza shops who would tell me, get whatever you want, come pay me back another day.
Yeah.
You know,
Sure.
like treat everyone with respect. I don't care if you're a DJ. I don't care if it's a cleaner. I don't care if it's a security guard. Treat everyone with respect because you have no idea who could change your life.
Sure.
You have. The guy's name is Samuel. He had a spaza shop in Observatory, bro. This guy said to me, bro, I see you walk past here every day because I used to get a 13 Rand coffee at this restaurant called Nerona. But I bought the 13 Rand so I could use the Wi-Fi all day. Like the coffee would get cold. That's why I can sip this coffee now and it's cold.
You're used to it.
I still can drink cold coffee, you know? And this dude was like, I see you walk here every day, but I can see like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, man, I'm just trying to figure things out. He's like, look, bro, I've never seen you, and right across the street were like these 2 places where it's like alcohol and stuff like that, like places where people are partying. It's like, I've never seen you go into these places. I've never seen you drunk. You've always greeted me whenever you come in here. You've always been respectable. My friend, whatever you need, get it. You'll just pay me back whenever you can.
Sure.
Sure.
Powerful, eh?
Cool. I remember I bought stuff for 75 Rand, whatever. Years later, I run into this dude at the biscuit mill. And this dude is in tears because he's so proud of how far I've come.
Sure.
No one knows this guy. Do you get what I'm saying? He's not some big exec. He's an everyday person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was so proud to introduce me to his wife and to his boss at the time. And he's like, and his boss was like, I didn't believe him when he said that he knows you. And I'm like, what do you mean he knows me? This guy saved me. He saved me.
Yeah.
And his boss is like, what? I'm like, yeah. In fact, let me get some of your, because I had a stall. I was like, let me get a whole bunch of food. So I'm like, yo, I'm paying for everything. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's all. So his boss is like, whoa. I'm like, yeah. And that moment taught me, bro, I don't care where you come from. I live on the thing of you will lose my respect. You won't earn it first. You got respect because you're a human being.
Sure.
It's yours to lose.
Yeah.
Yes, that's deep.
It's yours to lose.
That's dope.
Do you get what I'm saying?
I love that.
You know, so respect everybody. And also, the last thing is, I live by be great. And being great to me is not me being the top dog. Being great to me, dog, is going to be me looking out and saying we have created other great people. Like, being great is like, oh, snap, like this message has hit and there are people doing phenomenal things.
Yeah.
I could point out so many guys in my team
Yeah.
who in like the last 2 years, I'm like, dang, bro, like you're this guy. And that's why I genuinely feel happy. I sometimes get criticized about it because I don't like being the man. I don't have main guy syndrome. I like being a cheerleader. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like it when people win because I'm like, yo, this is dope.
Yeah.
Like, this is dope.
Agreed, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Forget me, this is dope. So I've always loved seeing people win. And I think in return, I've always won somehow.
Yeah.
So I lose nothing when Blake does great, when you do great. I lose nothing.
Yeah.
I learn, I grow. So just be at peace with that. It's not me. It's us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, I just want to actually thank you for that because throughout the time that we're speaking, obviously you speak for a living, but you're very, very quick when you answer. Like you already know what you're going to say. And you took your time to think about what you said there now, and it was very original. But you actually really thought
I
about
got
it.
goosebumps at one stage.
I heard that, bro.
The
Like I
story. I
listened to
got
what you said.
goosebumps in the Spars of the Shop story. I was like feeling the...
So I just want to thank you for that because
Nah,
I
it's
feel
a
like
pleasure.
a lot
It's
of
a
the
pleasure.
time we will say certain things which will make us look good or it's the
Yeah.
typical. But you actually just thought about 3 golden nuggets that people can walk away with
Yeah.
and it will literally make their lives better.
Yeah, man.
So, bro, one last question from Jared.
Hit me, J Boogie. That's your new nickname.
J Boogie. But I'm in recovery. I don't do Boogie anymore, bro.
Hit me.
J Schmack.
So if you could be any gibbet, what would you be and why? There's so many, dude. I don't know if you even know them. You can check my...
Oh, bro, yo, I'd be the globe. I'd be the globe. I'd be the globe. I'm international with this. I'm international. Yo, take KYEEZI anywhere on God's green earth. I'm gonna make it happen.
Here we go.
Love that,
Anyway,
bro.
yo, put me in Russia. Me and Putin turning up. You know, put me wherever. I'm looking at the world, and I believe, bro, like everything that I'm trying to do, I'm going pound for pound against the greatest.
That's it, bro.
I can see Ryan Seacrest. I can see Trevor Noah. I can see Black Coffee. They don't know me. One day they will.
They will.
You know, and I'm not afraid to say that with my chest, you know.
That's
like
it, bro.
Yeah.
I'm prepared
Manifest it.
for it. I'm
Yeah.
prepared for it. Will Smith said it and it stuck with me, man. If you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready. I get a phone call right now. I'm ready. Yo, come through. No, K's ready. I'm ready.
That's it, bro.
Massive.
Thank you so much for your time. We
Yeah.
could just continue. I see we're getting death stares from the crew here. We could continue.
Yeah.
Just listen to our bosses.
Yeah, we can talk to you all day, bro. Not only do we believe in your dream and
Yeah.
believe in that, but we support you as well.
Amen.
We just want
Appreciate
you
you,
to
man.
always know that, bro. And thank you for your time. Thank you for your energy. Thank you
Appreciate
for
you,
your
bro.
story and
Wisdom.
your efforts. And we look forward to having you on the school tour again this year.
All good, man. Okay, can I plug my stuff?
Love it. Yes, bro. Of course.
Yo,
Go.
KYEEZI online. You can check out my radio shows. Yeah, one on Good Hope Monday to Friday, The Great Drive, 3 to 6. And then on Metro FM on Saturday, 9 to 12 doing the chart. And then check out my event property at Unplugged SA. And it's at KYEEZI. A whole lot on the way for the rest of 2024. This is Kobe year, Mamba mentality.
Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. What a powerful episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on that notification. Guys, make sure you comment. Over to you, Blake.
Yeah, I just want to say personally for me, that was my favorite episode. It was super inspirational, motivational. KYEEZI always coming through. Thank you, brother. And then a big shout out to Crocs for powering the show. Also to Road. We appreciate you guys for this hot equipment. We love it. And then guys, for you at home, we're running a really dope competition. We're giving away 3 pairs of Crocs with gibbets to the people that show us the most love. All you have to do is just go and share the episode, share the short clips on Instagram, on TikTok.
Comment.
Go crazy. We'll be looking for you. And then, of course, you can win yourself a free pair of Crocs. Other than that, guys, comment below who you want to see next on the show. And we'll see you guys at the next one.
Peace.
Cheers.